Today, I'm going to show you how to make a classic British picnic snack that's been triumphantly gaining international popularity. A soft-boiled egg, decadently wrapped in sausage meat, lightly breaded and deep fried. A truly delectable figurehead of great British comfort cuisine. May I present to you, with great pride, hang on, this music's too much, turn it off. It's the Scotch Egg. Let's get cracking. So, you have two options for the meat. You can start with a blank canvas and buy ground pork, then season it up with herbs and spices and tasty things. Or, you can let someone else do the hard work for you and buy some delicious sausages and remove the skins. I always add a bit of breadcrumb, which makes the meat easier to work with. You can still add anything you like to this, like black pudding or chorizo, but I just want to show you the basic technique so you can master that first. Once you've decided on the meat, we need to boil some eggs. There's some important stuff to go over here, and I apologise if it's not very exciting. The most consistent way to boil an egg, and this may sound obvious, is to keep the water boiling. That way, you know the cooking temperature is consistent. We know that water boils at 100 degrees, so if it's always boiling, then it's always 100 degrees. Use a big pot so you have way more water than eggs. That way the eggs don't cool the water down too much. If it takes 1 or 2 minutes for the water to start boiling again after the eggs are plunged, then that's 1 or 2 minutes where we're not in control of the temperature. Fun fact, if you live at a higher altitude, the eggs will take longer to cook, as water boils at a lower temperature under lower atmospheric pressure. Wow! Anyway, somewhere between 6 and 7 minutes will be a perfect soft-boiled egg. After the time is up, plunge the eggs into ice water to stop them cooking as quickly as possible. Let them chill out in there for about as long as you cook them. Does all of this really matter? Well, not really, but this is what I do to make sure the eggs are the same every time. Here's my method for blemish-free peeling. Crack the egg on the bottom and peel a little line to the opposite point. There's usually a kind of skin membrane thing that you have to get under. Then use 3 fingers to gently pry away the larger bits of shell. Then dip it back in the water to wash off any debris. I actually find this works especially well if you do it underwater, though it doesn't need to be icy like mine. My fingers were freezing. And there you have it, 100% blemish-free, perfect soft-boiled eggs. I think that deserves a hit of the thumbs up button. Now this part is the real trick. To wrap the eggs, make a little square with 3 layers of cling film. I don't know why North Americans don't call this stuff cling film. It clings, it's film, cling film, the perfect name. Fold the edges over to keep it together. Moisten your hands to stop the meat from sticking, and sprinkle a tiny bit of water over the egg forming sheet for the same reason. Then, take a ball of meat that's a bit bigger than an egg and work it in your hands until it's all nicely combined. Flatten it out thinly and evenly on your sheet, making sure there are no gaps in the meat. Pop your egg down on the diagonal, then fold opposite corners together to make a little triangular pouch with the egg sitting at the bottom. Cup the egg with both hands and separate the surplus meat using your thumbs and index fingers. Try to get a gap between the egg and the excess. Then once you're happy, gently pry back the plastic wrap. The egg should be completely sealed with meat. Now you just need to tidy it up a bit. Pinch off any extra meat at the ends so that the egg is evenly encapsulated all the way around. Gently shape it to its ovular form so it looks truly excellent. This is a technique where practice makes perfect, so don't worry too much about the shape. All that's important is that there's no gaps in the meat. Remember, if it's really not working out, you can always completely unwrap the egg and start again. Earlier, when your eggs were cooking and I was rambling on about it, you will have had the perfect opportunity to prepare your breading station. You'll need 3 receptacles, one with flour, one with egg wash, and one with breadcrumbs. I'm using these fancy Japanese panko breadcrumbs. These used to be a chef's secret, but now they're available everywhere. For the egg wash, use 1 egg and a splash of milk, and beat it like it owes you money, just to make sure it's nice and smooth. Roll the eggs in flour and give them a good shake to knock off any clumps. Flour all of your eggs first. This is usually the most efficient and mess-free way to bread anything. This way, you can keep one hand dry while the other is wet. And that's a good idea because you want to bread your eggs and not your fingers. And you can even go beast mode, where you're wetting one egg and breading another one at the same time. This is exactly the same technique for breading anything. Chicken, cheese, prawns, croquettes, ice cream, whatever tickled your pickle. Actually, even pickles. They'll keep in the fridge for up to 5 days as long as the sausage meat was fresh. Just give them a little bed of breadcrumbs to keep them nice and dry. Now, it's perfectly fine to use a big pot as a deep fryer, just as long as you're careful. I try not to fill the pot above halfway. If you have a thermometer, slowly bring the oil up to 175 degrees, no higher than 180. Just keep the heat low to medium. Lower the eggs in and turn them occasionally until they become golden brown and crispy. The meat should be cooked through, but to ensure the inside of the egg is warm, finish them off in the oven for 5 minutes. Deep frying and baking will definitely give a superior result. Just look at this golden egg. What a beauty. However, according to Wikipedia, chip pans are well known for being a fire hazard. In the UK, chip pan fires are the largest cause of fire-related injuries in the home. Now, I'm not one for scaremongering, but if this terrifying information is a concern to you, then you can use a frying pan. You need enough oil to submerge the eggs about 1/4 of the way. Test that the oil is hot enough with a sprinkle of breadcrumbs. Keep the pan on a medium-high heat and turn the eggs every minute or so. You should be able to stand them up on their ends, but if not, use a spoon to splash hot oil onto any bits that you can't submerge. The meat should be cooked through after about 6 or 7 minutes, but again, it will take a little longer to warm the center of the egg. If they start to get too dark, you can finish them off in the oven for a few minutes. Total cook time should be around 10 to 12 minutes. And there you have it, the perfect Scotch egg. Now, you can just grab one of these and bite the top off it, or take the more civilized approach and saw it in half with a bread knife. Just be prepared for a yolky explosion. My personal record is 7 of these in one sitting. I am slightly ashamed. Let me know your best egg puns in the comments. Please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.